Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing something pretty cool here. We're going to start our series of plaster comparison videos. We're going to be testing a bunch of different types of plaster as well as some primers and sealers so you guys can kind of see the differences in what the different products do. So the main goal of this is to kind of show you guys what the different products do, and hopefully this will help you guys kind of decide on what to do for your own project and maybe show you some of the differences, kind of comparing the different plasters to each other. So we're gonna kind of talk about each of these individual products by itself, and then we'll also kind of compare them so that we can see the differences between the plasters and give you guys a good sense of what the differences are. Because I don't think there's many videos out there on this type of thing where you're gonna be able to see kind of the different plasters. I'm testing the products that are from a company called Firenzeprimer. If you're here in the US, they sell the Nova Color product line of plasters and paints and sealers and all that kind of thing. So we're gonna stick to that kind of category. We're gonna stick to them. We have a lot of different samples. We're not gonna cover all their products because they have a lot, but we are gonna cover quite a few products here. So hopefully, again, this gives you guys a good sense of what you're gonna be finding out there and all this stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of series, just to look at different products. So make sure to subscribe. And also, if you haven't and you're interested, go ahead and click that bell button. That way you get notified when we upload a new video. Let's get started. So our first product is going to be Quartz Primer. Now, you've heard me talk about Quartz Primer before, but I haven't dedicated a video to it, so we're gonna do that right now. Quartz Primer is a primer that has aggregate in it. When you're applying plaster onto a wall, usually you want something for it to kind of grab onto, and when it dries, it kind of shrinks a little bit, so you want it to give it something to kind of latch onto so that it adheres to the wall properly. So Quartz Primer really does that really well because it makes the surface kind of more like a sandpaper feel. Like when you touch the wall, it'll be rough after you apply Quartz Primer, and it's really good for medium to coarser plasters where the texture's not gonna come through as much. If you're doing something like a high gloss Grisello or something like that, you may not wanna use this. You definitely can, but you might just wanna opt for more of a flat primer. So Quartz Primer is great for brand new walls or walls that you've kind of repaired and are preparing to get for plaster. This will just, again, help the adhesion. These products aren't cheap. You're going to be doing, if you're doing a room or a house or whatever it is, you definitely don't want to skimp on the primer. So here's how I would look at primers in general. If you're going over an old wall, maybe it's something that you got to fix, patch holes, there's paint on the wall, whatever it is, I would first go over the wall with a paint primer. What that's going to do is really like seal in all your, if you're skim coating walls or if you're going over old paint, it's going to really seal that in and then give you a good surface to then go over it with the Quartz Primer. It seems kind of redundant, but the Quartz Primer is not gonna give you as much coverage and kind of like sealing in as much as like a paint primer would. So I definitely recommend doing that. The Quartz Primer, really what it's for is for walls that are ready to go and you need a little bit of texture on the surface. So brand new walls, obviously good opportunity to use Quartz Primer. You don't need to go ahead and you don't need to paint prime it first. You can just go straight to the Quartz Primer. If you have an older wall, I recommend using like a paint primer that you can find at like a hardware store that really just gonna seal everything in, and then roll it with the Quartz Primer, and then you'll be good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and apply some Quartz Primer to our board here. So let's get at it. For Quartz Primer, it's the consistency of paint. So it's not very thick, pretty easy, just like a normal paint. You just kind of roll it on. There's nothing special, I guess, with the application here, but I just kind of want to talk about and show you guys what that looks like. Obviously, if you're gonna be applying to a smooth wall, I would go ahead and get a smooth wall napped roller. So nothing like a thick, high texture wall. I wouldn't use that. I would just go with the smooth nap. And yeah, so you just roll it on. There's nothing special here. We're just gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so here is what our board looks like after it's dried. Again, the coverage isn't like amazing. The real goal of Quartz Primer is just to get that like texture on the wall. It gives a little bit of coverage, but like I said, if you're going over dark colors or anything that needs to be kind of like more sealed in and more covered, I would go ahead and use a paint primer, then a quartz primer. So it's very fine texture. It's not very aggressive. You can't really see it, but it just feels like a sandpaper, just kind of like a very mild kind of sandpapery feel. So that's kind of what you'll get after that. So nothing crazy here. It goes on easy, just like paint. You know, there's not really a special technique other than, getting a paint roller out and painting it. So that's kind of our look at quartz primer and kind of the use cases there. I'll go ahead and make sure to link everything down below. Again, some of our favorite products that we've used, as well as, of course, the quartz primer. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments and stay tuned for more products. Hope you guys are liking this, and we will see you guys next time.